What is up? Welcome into Driving the Nightline. My name is Alan Bell. Got a fantastic show lined up for you this afternoon. Big Greg, California Wager. What is up, brother? How we doing?
Good. Happy Thursday. Ready for a big weekend. We start all these series early with the Easter weekend, so excited.
Yeah, man. It feels like Friday. It really does, man. It's good to see you, buddy. Now, shout out. Our man, Jeffrey Bradshaw, became a YouTube member. Jeffrey, first off, thank you. Second off, well done. And if you need anything, brother, you just let me or the crew, anybody know. Thank you so much. Welcome into the crew, man. Your support means the world, brother. Appreciate you big. All right. Now, let's jump into it. Optical said, happy Thursday. Let's get some winners. Let's get some winners indeed. Japan, let's go. Let's go indeed. Japan's got to play. Lakers money line plus 285. Keep the points. We don't want them. Don't even need them. Let's go. Jeff said, good morning or good afternoon, AB and crew. Good afternoon, Jeff. Good to see you, brother. Tizzle, yesterday just killed any motivation I had for today. By what? What do you mean, man? Tell me, what happened? All right, let's jump into it here. What do we have yesterday? Yankees team total over 3.5 plus 110. Guardians, Dodgers over 8. So the Yankees, we get there. Nice home run. We needed that one. Guardians and Dodgers, we do not get to 8. So we go 1-1 yesterday, my man. Christian said, I took Arkansas money line and Bama money line college baseball. Thoughts? We're going to talk about that because, woo, do they have big matchups today. Greg, that Arkansas Auburn series, oh my goodness, man. That is going to be huge. All right, let's jump into it here. Let's get right to the picks. Greg, you've got baseball. I've got baseball. Let's go. All right, load it up, my man. What do we got?
All right, we are on a slight dog train. I know you'll be happy with the last one. Let's start right in on it. Charlotte money line today. We like them as a favorable dog. I love what I've seen from them this season. Still surprised with this number. I think this team has played great. I like what they've done. Already played really well during the middle of the week. Like them at the plus 150. Duke money line. I also like them as a now small favorite. Money has continued to flow in their way. I think this is a great spot for them at home. And then last but not least, Hawaii money line. Love my Rainbow Warriors. Yes, they're coming across the water, but you know what? Playing a UC San Diego team that's been very up and down. Love what Hawaii has done on the pitching side this year, and pitching definitely travels. I think it will tonight, and we like the Rainbow Warriors.
Nice, man. All right, great work. Now, here's the funny part. So, Greg, when you reached out earlier and you're like, hey, afternoon show, I was like, hell yeah, let's go. And you sit over the picks. And as soon as you said it, I knew the responses in the chat, and it's talking about Duke. And I'm right there with you, all right? So, Millsy said, Duke. All right, Scott said, oh, no, AB, you rubbed off on Greg. He's going Duke. All right, so, look, I'm right here with you, okay? I'm right here with you in the morning show. I was saying the same thing. Duke is so live today as an underdog. Oh, that's funny, dude. As soon as you sent that over, I was like, yes, Greg's right on board. So, I'm with you on Duke. All right. Now, we have I have two plays out of a massive slate that we have tonight. I want some overs, all right? I want some action and some runs. Ole Miss and Florida, over 9.5. I understand Florida games have not been overs this year. That said, I think Ole Miss is coming in angry tonight. Now, whether or not that matters, I don't know. We have Florida on the money line for the morning show, but I think we're going to get some runs in this one, all right? Second game. Georgia and Mississippi State, over 10.5. I want it as well. We also have some decent weather in this one as well. At the Dude, Starkville, Mississippi. It's hot. Wind is blowing straight out. Not much, but enough. Got some humidity. Had some rain earlier. Nice, man. Nice and a little muggy. Exactly what we want. Greg, you miss those days, don't you? Those southeast days when it's just muggy out of nowhere.
Just covered in sweat. Never being able to get dry.
I'm telling you. You know what's crazy is that, dude, that weather is like traveled with you to the West Coast. Like all the humidity is out in the West Coast, man.
Yeah, it's been really humid the last like 4 days.
Yeah, dude. San Francisco today, like we were talking about the Giants game. The wind is blowing 19 miles an hour straight out. If there were ever a time to get some runs, it is tonight on both sides, man. All right, so let's jump into it here. So we have Joey. AB, I got a conversation, I think. Been tinkering with AI help as far as betting. Not sure if you tried it, but I've heard it's a game changer if you find the right vocab to talk to Copilot Gemini. So I haven't jumped in a ton. Well, okay. So with AI, there's so many different routes that we could go. Greg, have you messed around with AI? And we'll get into the picks in just 1 second. You have? What are your thoughts, man?
I mean, I only use it for very like specific things. I don't like to let it wander too much, but it's helpful for me. I'd say from the sports betting side, helpful with especially in Major League Baseball when you want to break down certain lineups, find out history, find out certain things of guys in a lineup. It's been useful. It's also helpful from a business perspective at times. It'll take easiest example, take a picture of something, turn it around and say, make this into this, and it instantly creates it for you. So it definitely can be a time saver and, beneficial in the sports betting side if you know what you're looking for. But I think like so many stats, you can skew them to look good in your perspective anytime. So you have to know what you're looking for and be open-minded with where they can sometimes take you.
Yeah. It's fascinating, the whole AI, because I mean, there's a million branches, that we could take it, when you say AI, but it's it's a learning-based machine tool, right? So these first couple seasons, it's going to be all over the place. Yeah, Joey, I asked AI for a lineup and they listed a pitcher. And Tiz was like, he's in MLB. That's what's funny is like you said, Greg, like there are going to be some search queries that come back and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing information. Like this is going to change everything that we do. And then other times you're like, yeah, you're looking at it like, I think I'm just going to click the X on that one and do my own research here. All right, picks at the bottom. Let's jump into it here. Matty Boy said, punch it in late and have to leave early. Nice, right? Well, I hate that you have to leave early, big dog, but we got the picks. Yeah, we got the picks down there for you. Now, let's go. All right, jumping into the games. All right, so we'll start with the 4 p.m.s here. Florida State, Virginia. Florida State, dude, minus 120 on the money line, a total of 11. Now, I bring this to you, man. I'm not sure what to do here. Like, Virginia and Florida State are two teams that are in my rotation. I look to both of them very quickly. Now they're playing each other. A total of 11. I think I lean Virginia minus 110 in anything that you like here.
Yeah, it was an easy pass for me because I saw kind of both sides of it, and I let that injury come into it too much from my perspective. So I was like, this is too much of a layoff right now. Florida State obviously coming off, what we'll see how drastic that injury is, but a guy who's the middle of your lineup, he was hitting the ball really well right now, and a big leader for that Florida State team. So it's difficult. Sometimes going on the road can be a big beneficial thing though. At this time.
I agree. So, yeah.
So I kind of leaned both ways with it. And I saw both sides of it, how these totals can go. So to me, it was like, this is an easy layoff. It's going to be a very interesting game to watch for sure.
Yeah. That was right. What you just said, right? I swear, more times than not in college baseball, especially when you have to go the 2-leg money line parlay route, more times than not, man, it's just avoiding the super risky spots. And this is, there's nothing more risky on the, well, there are some that are going to argue, but this is back and forth, right? Florida State definitely deal with the injury, but like Whale said, man, they have the depth to replace Bailey. They do. And this Florida State team, like, I'm not giving up on them at all. But Virginia is really good too, and could really use this for a lot of different reasons. So no play for me, but yeah, I think I lean Virginia here. All right, Boston College, North Carolina. All right, so Scott said, I bet Boston College, I think they're very live. Oh, buddy, Scott, you are absolutely spot on that they're live. Boston College now in the top 25. I think they're ranked 22nd in the country here. North Carolina, now look, they're another team that's in my rotation. I love what I see from North Carolina, okay? Their margins are excellent. They're averaging, 9 runs per game, giving up 4.5, 5, somewhere around there. North Carolina, man, or less than that. North Carolina has been a wagon. So I've got North Carolina on the money line, a total of 8.5. Now, we won't stop on every game, but we just got 2 big ones right out of the gate. Yeah, I throw it over to you. Yeah, what do you think here, man?
I have Boston College money line. We took the plus 250. I had Campbell. I teased Campbell money line. I thought about it the other day. but the 3.5 seemed too good. The Camels have been lights out. You've made almost a year's worth of profit probably if you've played the Camels during midweek the past month. They've been underdogs and lights out in winning these games and covering every single one of them. Obviously, they go down the other day, but as a 3.5 for an underdog, they cashed for us. I like the spot. I like that UNC's stuck at home. I think this is good, like we just talked about, good for Florida State to get on the road. I think that BC traveling there means a lot more. And this is the best BC team that we've seen in a long time. North Carolina, regardless of what you want to say, everyone was out there for that amount of time. I don't care if you were sitting in the bullpen, if you were the starter in that game or anybody else in between, you were out there for that entire length of that game late into the night. You probably didn't do a ton yesterday, but your body clock is off still. That's a weird spot. And I like BC coming in right now. I lean the 2.5, but I like them at the plus 250.
I mean, they're hot, dude. And look, this total 8.5. Like, I almost want to play the over 8.5 just out of spite, but oh man, 4-2 is very real in this game. But yeah, man, Boston College is going to get a ton of love, and especially if they show out this weekend. Whoo. All right, South Alabama Coastal, total of 10. We're on Coastal in the money line here from the morning show, minus 345. Do we have them paired with Mississippi State? I'll have to pull that back up. But we are on Coastal here. Coastal Carolina just been on a freaking tear. Now, South Alabama, this is a good baseball team. 18, 19 win team. This is no layup by any means. Even though it's priced minus 345, this is going to be tighter. Coastal's going to have to – they're going to have to play well, or South Alabama will go in and mop the floor with you. However, you want to look for consistency. It's been Coastal Carolina, man, no doubt. So, and Greg, feel free to stop me on any of these games if you do. I mean, we're not going to go through, every one of them. Southern Miss, Old Dominion. Southern Miss minus 520 in the money line, total 11. This total scares me. I don't know what to do with Old Dominion. I kind of don't know what to do with Southern Miss, even though I do trust them. They don't score enough runs, man. Their margins are tight. Now they pitch well. No doubt there, but again, man, when you're a team, and not that they're only built on pitching, but when you're built on pitching, you just can't have a lot of mistakes. You know what I mean? And you got to show up, you got to hit consistently. So here we go. Minus 520 on the road.
11 seems a little high.
Yeah.
Exactly. Cause like what you said, and you're going to get, your top tier starting staff, but yeah, they've been great, like you said, defense wise, pitching wise, but you've got to be perfect when you're scoring 5 runs or less a game.
Yeah, it's a brutal way to live, man. You know what I mean? Tizzle, yeah. Southern Miss hasn't played well enough recently for me to lay the minus 520. Exactly that, right? If Southern Miss were at home and it wasn't minus 520, like, yeah, I'm with you. I'd be spot on. But yeah, on the road, that price is not worth it. Now I say that Southern Miss wins all 3, as they should, but. Yeah, it's a risky dance when you have 2-leg money line parlays out here. Charlotte, East Carolina minus 195, total of 12. Nothing for me there. Dallas Baptist, Kennesaw State, total of 13. Nothing for me there. Gonna be a good series though. Louisiana, James Madison, total of 10. Notre Dame, NC State. All right, so we're on NC State in the money line from the morning show. NC State really needs this series. They just need to just accumulate wins, man. Get 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. 2 out of, you don't have to be perfect. Nobody's asking you to be. 2 out of 3. Just win series, right? Did we skip over? Yeah, I'm sorry. We skipped over your Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead. I apologize. Yeah. Whale said, Gregor, why are you on Charlotte? I certainly apologize. Let me go back to that one, man. Break down what you like. Yeah.
I mean, I like what Charlotte's done this season. I like them offensively too, playing in a smaller ballpark too with what ECU has. And ECU has been, to me, just that kind of inconsistency. We've watched them blow a couple games earlier in the year, and Charlotte continues to be hot, in my opinion. I think that confidence, as much as anything, is good. And again, to me, another really profitable travel spot. I think that this is a team that's going to go in. Anybody who's not been there before, ECU has been a a pretty wild place to play. And I think a team like Charlotte benefits from this. I've watched them the last 3 weeks, I think, give or take, and I've liked what I've seen. I think that this one, as we've seen the value come down, I think it is appropriate. I feel kind of the same way with Kennesaw as well. I think that this is a team that is a little bit mispriced, and that is a number that's a little bit wrong as well with our next game too.
There we go. Look, Joey. Now he went ECU, but he's with you on Kennesaw, man. So yeah, plus 190 sitting nice. All right, yeah, James Madison, Louisiana. I don't have anything. Notre Dame, NC State again. I'm on NC State. Now, Notre Dame has been a team that has picked up a ton of steam. This past weekend wasn't the best thing ever. That said, though, they're dangerous, man. But for me, number one, I think NC State's better. Number two, I think NC State knows that it can't mess around in series like this. Good teams that host super regionals win these series. You know what I mean? And minus 160 is a heck of a price, but yeah. Well said. I just can't fade Norby, but I get what you're saying. Yep. High Point College of Charleston, total of 10. That looks like a fun one. I don't know what you're going to get Charleston, though, runs wise. Marshall, App State, total 12.5. Minus 195 for App State there. I'm surprised it's 12.5. I'll be honest with you.
I like I like High Point as well tonight. I think that Charleston, a lot of that Southern Big South is down this year, and Charleston's one of them. So I do think High Point's it hasn't moved, but I think that finding a way to play them is a decent spot tonight.
I'm with you, man. Wofford VMI. We're on VMI to parlay. I don't know if you've caught any Virginia Military Institute, but this team rakes. Like, we don't get to bet on them a whole lot, but when we do, it's like a holiday. And it is a holiday this weekend. There we go.
Same thing. Yeah. Wofford struggling big time this year. The 11 to me is really low. I think that's actually might have to bet that myself right now. That's a very low. Let's be honest. We know VMI can put that up on their own.
Yep.
Wofford's pitching staff has been very questionable. Yeah, I like that over 11.
Yeah. Look, hey, Joey said the AI did pick VMI today. There we go. AI. I love it. Yeah, dude. VMI literally could get this total on their own, man. All right. Ole Miss at Florida. Okay. Excellent pitching here. Understood going in. That said, though, Florida got themselves back on track, right? Had that week. Didn't play well, lost some games, beat Florida State in the midweek, bounced themselves back, right? Go and win 3 on the road against Arkansas. Now they're at home, Gainesville, taking on Ole Miss. Ole Miss just got swept by Mississippi State. So Ole Miss is definitely looking to go out and rake. However, Florida doesn't care. This Florida team is good, man. Like, they are a team. They're kind of like Texas. Now, I'm not saying they're as good as Texas. They're not. Not many are, but Florida is built. They could shut you down on the mound, and they don't need to go, Jack Caglione days of, 13, 14 runs, of them just mashing him and Wyatt Langford just going off, right? They can, but they don't need to. So I don't know what to do with that. Like, in terms of what you're going to get from each team, like looking at, if you're going to say 10 runs and what the final score is going to be, like Florida 6-4, it could be that. Florida could beat Ole Miss 10-0. Now, I'm not saying that they do that, but I'm just feeling this Florida team, man. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and especially for the last 2 years too. The last 2 years have not been good for Florida baseball. Now, they've made something out of the seasons at the end, but they had to just go crazy to do it. Now they're sitting a little bit better. Right? Life's a little easier when you're not fully amped at every second, right? Like, you relax a little bit. That's where Florida's at, man. It's good for them. They good relaxed baseball is where Florida excels. So, just looking for just nothing crazy. Just go out, just play your ball, be you, keep doing what you're doing, Gators. right there with you, man. Yeah, Ole Miss not starting their top arm. There we go. So Wofford VMI already up to 12 and a half. Yeah. VMI better rake today. They better go. All right, UAB, Florida Atlantic, total of 10. I don't have anything there, man. Texas, South Carolina, total of 10. Look, same deal we were just talking about. Look, Texas is a team that can go out. They want to win 8-0, right? Like that's what Texas wants to do. And a lot of times they do. This team is outstanding. Now, South Carolina can pitch. They don't necessarily put up a ton of runs. They can at times, but South Carolina, what I'm getting at is that South Carolina is going to try to out Texas. That has to be the strategy, right? Because South Carolina is looking at it saying, all right, we have to win with pitching. And Texas is saying, oh, do you? Well, we got a few pitchers too and some hitters to disrupt your pitching, right? Like it's going to be tough. That said, though, now, and we're talking a lot about Texas, who's a minus 720 for a reason, but it's on the road. And if you're looking at small totals like this, South Carolina could steal one. I'm not saying it's right here, but Texas worries me, even though Texas says there's absolutely no reason to have any concerns with Texas baseball whatsoever. But this is a weird spot, man. If you're looking for an ultimate, like somebody might steal a stupid game, and I'm not saying stupid, you just know what I mean. Like one of those 2-to-1s where you're like, oh my God. South Carolina could at some point. I don't know though. I see a possibility just because I could see Texas has played almost perfect all year long. Now, I'm not saying that that's like crazy above their level because that's how good they are. But, you know, when just trying to project like, hey, this could be a little bit of a minefield. Like, it's just so easy to have an off weekend, you know? And again, I don't want to say it that it's here because Texas is minus 720 for a reason. But, yeah. Joey, I've seen so many sweeps. Yeah. You know, and another thing, too, Thursday, Friday, Saturday series, also Friday, Saturday series. So these are all going to go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but the ones that start tomorrow, a lot of them will go Friday, Saturday. So we also have double headers get mixed in with that as well. Oregon State, Lamar, total of 9. Oregon State, look, Lamar's going to try to out Oregon State in this one. I don't know if they can, but Oregon State doesn't necessarily put up a ton of runs per game. They can pitch really well. So your margins are tight, but minus 395 is playable. Georgia, Mississippi State. All right. I'm on the over 10.5 here. Scary, but Mississippi State could score. And I think that they know that Georgia knows that Georgia can't out Mississippi State, not to use that phrase 3 games in a row. So Georgia, a top 5 hitting team in the country in terms of home runs, in terms of runs, they could score. Now, Mississippi State at home at the Dude, it's going to be brutal to get runs because they're just as good as Texas. This team can win a national championship. They are that good. But got to think that Georgia's coming in saying, all right, we have to rake. And Mississippi State knows that Georgia's thinking the same thing, right? So every hitter is going to be saying, no, more. Not that they wouldn't in any other game, but this is a big series right here. Top 5 matchup. Georgia's 5th in the country. Mississippi State's 4th. It's huge, man. Greg, how do you think this one's going? Who do you think wins?
I lean the over. I lean Mississippi State. I think that this is another where it's a massive home field advantage. Georgia's given up too many runs this year. They've been able to come. It's the same thing we've said about Georgia the last couple seasons. They can score with the best of them, but they're giving them up to everyone. And that's going to catch up to you. Mississippi State looks like a team ready for the World Series with the way that they play, the way they have no problem with these, low scoring games, tight games, and, a massive home field advantage that will benefit them through the super regionals if they get there. So I do lean Mississippi State. Number's too high, obviously, for me to dive with, but I would lean the over as well. I think that at a certain point, 11's not that high, especially for either of these teams. We know what is capable, and with game one of a series, either way, something gets wild. We know a team can pull pull the rope and say, that's fine, we'll get ready for tomorrow. So 11 doesn't seem like a high number to get the win here.
Agreed. 7-4. I mean, 7-4 gets us there, right? We have Mississippi State on the money line from the morning show. So if Georgia does go off, we do have a little bit of, not protection, but you've got a little bit of a hedge, so to say. But either way, essentially, okay, so let me explain this real quick. So essentially now what we have, since we have Mississippi State money line from the morning show, and that's parlayed with something, but let's just look at it from a one bet perspective. So since we have Mississippi State money line and we have the over 10.5, essentially what we have is Mississippi State team total 6 runs or more. If Mississippi State gets to 6, we're guaranteed either the win or the over. You see what I'm saying? It would take Georgia 7-6, 13 runs, right? So it's almost now, not that you want to start placing 2 bets on one game, because you can lose both, trust me. However, that's essentially what it boils down to, is we need Mississippi State to get to 6. We get to 6, we've got a shot. We can get both. We could still lose both, right? Because a money line parlay, you have that mixed in. But just the thought process there. And once we get to the postseason, that'll really come into play when we can play these games straight ups, right? -115, -115, et cetera, et cetera. Whale said, give me the Bulldogs. I fell for it this morning. Georgia and Mississippi State both being Bulldogs. Vanderbilt, Texas A&M, total 12.5. All right, man. Me and you were texting about this. Vanderbilt walked off Tennessee Friday, walked them off Saturday, walked them off Sunday. Vanderbilt's walked off teams like 7 of the last 10 games or something crazy. Nuts. Team's absolutely feeling it. They've got the mojo. They really do. Now, Texas A&M, good squad too, man. Total of 12.5. I'm a little surprised by that. Not that Vanderbilt can't score. Certainly been scoring runs. But they could go low in games too, man. Even though Vanderbilt's a top 5 home run hitting team in the country. Yeah, total 12. I don't have a play. Did you have anything on this one?
No, I didn't either. Yeah, the 12.5 seemed a little bit high as well to me. Especially game one, you think both these teams are going to throw their best, and they've both been really successful so far with it. A&M playing at home has obviously a pretty big benefit with Kyle Field, with that baseball stadium is huge. The 12th man's always there and has a big effect on what you're doing. Vanderbilt's been good. Huge home field advantage for them when they're at home. We watched it last weekend with that Wild Series. You wonder if there is a little bit of a letdown after such a high last weekend. So I do lean A&M a little bit, but it's hard to take them at that number, especially when you see Vanderbilt looking at plus 170, even on the run line at plus 1.5 minus 110 seems fairly reasonable. But to me, A&M seems like a team that's been kind of under the radar, especially how much they underperformed last year, dropping from number 1 to not even making a regional. So I think that, a team that is going to be motivated and stays motivated, and I do lean them tonight.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Like, you're right. You bring up a good point of, like, how long can Vanderbilt play at this level? But like I said, it's been like 7 of the last 10. So it's not just one weekend series. Like, if you're looking for anybody in the country that's in a game, it's been Vanderbilt, right? So you might not bet them here, but keep an eye live, man. They have been the ultimate live bet, no doubt. Bobby P, my boy, sorry I'm late getting my boy ready for prom. Nice. Oh, dude, that's awesome, man. I love it.
Oh, real quick, I will say I saw somebody had popped in and asked about the Masters.
Yeah.
There's 2 picks that I have so far, Fitzpatrick and Fleetwood.
You feeling them?
I like both of them on the course. I like the history with it too. Fleetwood, I like what he can do, shaping the ball every direction. And then obviously Fitzpatrick has continued to lengthen his game. And he's played well. Ups and downs come with swing changes, but results are, proof is in the pudding. He's played well, has victory in the past, and a guy that's pretty experienced. So I'll have a bunch more, but those are two initial ones that I liked, and both of them were in the 25-1, if not a little bit higher range.
Nice. Hey, Masters picks are always welcomed here, my friend.
And Augusta's such a course too that there's so much knowledge with it. You really have to play it to understand it. Tiger explained that really well. That first timers rarely, if ever, play very well there because there's just so many angles and parts and the ambiance alone to it.
It's crazy. Have you ever been?
I have not,
dude. I've been twice, both practice rounds. Right? Not.
That's what I'd rather go anyways. Practice rounds like for the AT&T and Pebble and all those things are way more fun because you can be louder, you can interact. The players are, they're not dicking around, but they're loosey goosey. They're out there still having a good time and getting things tuned up.
Yeah. You know what's great too? You could take a chair and you place it wherever you want. And you say you want to put it on 18 green or whatever, right? You place it there, then you go walk around the course and literally no one will touch your chair, nothing. Like it's your spot, it's known. Like that's how you do it, right? So it's legit, man. Like anybody, if you ever get the chance to do it, do it. I think it cost us $100. I think it was $100 for a practice round ticket. And again, you're just seeing the guys, literally just playing practice rounds with each other. But I'm with you, man. Now, don't be wrong. I would love to go during the real tournament, but if everybody gets a chance to do it, man, it's awesome. Also, speaking of awesome, Arkansas and Auburn, total of 9.5. All right. Arkansas. Okay. Both of these teams need this in the worst way that's ever existed. Both of them coming off sweeps. Auburn swept at home by Florida. Auburn to Alabama. Now, nothing disrespectful about losing to those two teams, right? But these two are looking for it, man. Where are you going here? What do you think?
Well, before I even get to that, talk about a gut-wrenching loss and another long game for Arkansas midweek. That was an absolute battle with, I believe, Texas State. Is that what it was? Yeah, so that was an absolute, wild one with the walk-off come in and back and forth home runs. That was a slugfest for quite a while there in that one. So, both these teams are looking for their first win or facing a 5-game losing streak. Auburn got there, kicked in as well by Georgia Tech this week. So that definitely adds to it. I think Auburn having the home field advantage to me makes a big difference in this game. Both of these teams need a victory, like you said. Auburn has played great at times. Arkansas has been kind of that same Arkansas team we know. They play great when, occasionally when there's no pressure, and it seems like when there is and things get tighter, they fold. I've been disappointed. Arkansas has so much talent. The sky is the limit with this team, and quite frankly, they've continued to underperform with where they should be. So, I wouldn't be surprised either way as the price dictates, but I do like Auburn at home. Obviously, both of them have something to prove, but I think this offense can hit. And if they can pitch even remotely well with what is also a strange home field alignment, can also help occasionally when one run makes a difference.
And it might. Arkansas, man, I don't know if there's any team that feels more pressure than Arkansas. Like them, and I include their fan base in that. I know what they're feeling. You know what I mean? Like, went through it the last 7 years with Tennessee baseball. I know what they're feeling. Like when you're good enough and you've got the pressure, and luckily Tennessee got there, right? But dude,
and on top of that, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, go ahead.
And on top of that, any other program, your coach is set for life. They're playing now with a coach who's playing for his life, basically. Yep. And that's absurd to think about, because who are you going to go out there that's better than him?
Better than Dave Van Horn. I know.
Here's my thought. Vitalo's coming back.
Oh, God. If Vitello came back to Arkansas, which would probably will happen.
Call me crazy now.
Goodness. Oh, how would that go with that?
Somebody find me the market on and we can maybe find some good odds there, or create the market.
Kalshi, here we come.
Yeah, where will Vitalo's next team be?
Well, no kidding. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So in this game, dude, I don't know where. Look, Arkansas is feeling the pressure, but Auburn has pressure too. You've got to win game one because Arkansas is quote unquote expected to lose on the road, at least in game one. You steal game one, because both of these teams are feeling it in mentally, right? They know that they've not been playing well. They are very aware of that, right? So, not that this is the whole season, in one game, one series, but both these teams could, good Lord, they could use it. All right, Tulane, Wichita State, total of 10.5. Nothing for me on that. Liberty, Western Kentucky, total of 9. Nothing for me there. Utah, Kansas, total of 12. You're seeing high totals in the Midwest there. Cal Baptist, Abilene Christian, total 11.5. Cal Baptist, top 5 pitching staff in the country, both in terms of team ERA and strikeouts. Whale says Auburn wins the series. Don't ask me which games. Yeah. This definitely could be a ping pong series, right? Who wins game one? Other team wins game two. First one wins game 3. Arkansas State, Troy, total of 10. I don't have anything there. Again, feel free to stop me, man. If you want. Cal Baptist line jump. Yeah, Cal Baptist getting some love, man.
Yeah,
rightfully so, but on the road. Go ahead. What is that?
Yeah, we are on Cal Baptist tonight in one of our parlays. I do like them, especially Abilene Christian, a team that, I'm not confident with. I would lean the over with it, but I also think that you could just see a Cal Bap team that, continues to dominate. Unfortunately, they lost one of their top stars for the year. I think he's having good old Tommy John, but, they continue to play well, and the offense has been good. So I expect Cal Bap to handle business. I would lean them at the on the run line as well.
Yeah. Tommy John. That's tough. Take 15 months off your life.
16 for me.
There you go. Yep. How was that process?
Boring, painful, demoralizing.
I bet. You just sit there like, I'm worthless. I can't do anything.
And your arm's just stuck like you're just like,
yep.
What am I doing with my life?
Hey, ladies.
Yeah. It's like rookie of the year.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's rookie of the year. Starts throwing 200 miles an hour.
Funky butt loving.
Hot ice. It's the best of both worlds.
Brigma might be the best character in just
ever
any film.
Shout out to Rookie of the Year. Like, it's such a good movie.
Little help here.
Little help. Little help. He had the baseball lingo down.
I like when he comes out, the guy opens the door and his body's been stuck and he has to rotate like he's literally been locked in a cast.
Daniel Stern's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Houston and Texas Tech. All right. So Whale and Tizzle, we're talking about this in the chat, and I completely agree. Texas Tech overs, man, have been wild. Now you're seeing 14.5. So I didn't bet it. You're needing 15 runs, but Greg, here's a stat for you. And excuse me if I get a game off. I believe Texas Tech has played 28 games this year, maybe 29. There have been 10 runs or more in 27 of them. All right. Now, again, 10 runs doesn't do you much when you need an over of 14.5. But again, they have had runs constantly, man. So, yeah, definitely a look there. Well, Texas Tech overs all day long. Yes. Dude, did you just say the wet bandits? We used to do in college when it was beer pong, we would do the wet bandits versus the sticky bandits.
Yes.
You left the water on? Yeah, it's our calling card. Why'd you do that? It's who we are. You're a jerk, man. Alabama and Oklahoma. You left the water running? Yeah, it's our calling card. Why'd you do that?
No, they're there.
I'm sorry. Total of 13. Yeah. Marv, shut up. Oh, shout out to Home Alone, man. All right, Alabama, Oklahoma, total of 13.5. We're getting off the rails. Oklahoma, they felt off the rails, dude. Minus 130 on the money line here. Now, Oklahoma is an elite baseball team. Elite. Sometimes. Sometimes. Alabama's playing great right now. We just talked about them. They swept Auburn last weekend. Again, Alabama's built like their basketball team. Alabama's coming out to hit. Now, don't be wrong. Not saying anything against their pitchers. Bless them. All right? Bless the boys. But Bama's coming to rake. And if Oklahoma's not ready, Alabama's beating better teams than you, and you're very good. Alabama plus 100. Keep an eye there. I don't have a play on this. Total of 13.5. That one's pretty high. BYU, and again, Greg, do you anything you have? Alabama, Oklahoma, you might not.
Yeah, we're on Oklahoma today for that same reason. I think that we find them in a motivated spot at home. Alabama feeling a little bit fat and happy after that sweep. And I think that Oklahoma's a team that can pitch well, big ballpark. I do think that they hopefully are able to be the team that they were for the first month of the year. So I like them at a pretty good number.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, I mean, look, Oklahoma, again, they're an elite baseball team, right? It's just getting it to that consistent level. And again, it also doesn't help when you're playing Texas last weekend. So we're keeping some of that in perspective too, because like I said, Texas is unbelievable, man. BYU and Baylor, total of 14 here. I don't have anything. I wish BYU at home. Love any game at the launch pad, but you got runs in this one. UTSA and Rice, total. Did you say you were on UTSA?
Yeah, I like UTSA today. Took them on the run line. I think that they should handle business. Rice has been playing pretty well lately, but UTSA has been a horse. I think that they've really benefited from the success last year. They built off that really nicely, and they came in with high expectations, and they've played well. Follow that up too. I'm on UTRGC as well. I like Rio Grande Valley, and another team that kind of like UTSA last year a little bit to me. I think that they're off the radar to a lot of people, but I've seen good things from them. They've played well. This is a team that I think is way undervalued to me. I think this number should be much higher for them.
There we go. Dude, I love them. Look, UTSA is a great baseball team. Also, elite mascot logo, the Roadrunners. You can't beat it. Like, it's so good. It's minor league level. You know what I mean? And I say that with the most respect. Minor league baseball figured out team names and mascots better than anybody. There's so many good ones, right? But yeah, I like UTSA, UT Rio Grande Valley, minus 125 on the money line there. Louisville and Duke. All right, you're on Duke. Let it rip. What do you like?
To me, this is a team that I'm getting value with. We took them yesterday, and I think it was 115. So I did like that spot. Duke, another team that's been kind of off the radar a little bit. You know, been ups and downs. They've had trouble getting people out. But Louisville, to me, is, again, and I feel like I'm a broken record, but Louisville is a team that, you know, high expectations, low performances at times. And I think that Duke, especially right now, they've been hitting the ball better. I like what I'm seeing from them, especially at home. I don't trust Louisville's pitching staff right now. I think that this number, getting them at a plus value, is a good spot. You know, and it might be a bit of a reach because Duke has been so up and down. But from what I've seen with the offense lately, I'm willing to take a shot with it, especially when it's at that plus value.
There we go. There we go. Look, hey, well said it. The Mexican UT Rio Grande Valley also. Let's go. Yes, the Vaqueros. Dude, another great logo, mascot, all of it. Check it out. Yeah. UT Rio Grande Valley. Yeah, it's fantastic, man. It's good. All right. Speaking of good, Georgia Tech, total of 11.5. Okay. Georgia Tech's averaging 11.4 runs per game by themselves. That's a fact. Anybody see what they did to Auburn? Anybody see what they did to everyone that they've played ever this season? Now, minus 620 on the money line. We have Georgia Tech as part of a parlay, 3 legs. Okay. We saw North Carolina go to Cal and win all 3. I'm not anti-Cal Berkeley, but I don't think that they're that great. Georgia Tech is absolutely playing out of its mind right now. There's no reason to stop. And the point that I'm getting at, again, money line minus 620, not a whole lot you can do with that. But yeah, Tizzle, look, Georgia Tech Cal's at 10.5 now. That feels low enough to bite. Agreed. Knowing that we might need Georgia Tech to get 10 of those runs. That was like the long-winded take. Thankfully, Tizzle shut me up with one sentence. Yes, I agree with that, man. Like 10.5 is absolutely knowing that you're betting on probably needing Georgia Tech to do 99% of this work. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Well, Georgia Tech covers that themselves. Yeah, they do. They've been a wagon. Arizona State, Arizona. Greg, I had to. The chat made me stay away from this game because I want to bet Arizona a lot. There's no reasoning whatsoever that a human brain would say that's a smart call because Arizona's not been playing great, and Arizona State has. But that's exactly why it scares me in this series. Now, I don't hate the over of 10 because you kind of have a little bit of the hedge insurance Arizona baked into that, right? If you're thinking, hey, Arizona might show out, they get 6-7 runs. Well, Arizona State could get to 3-4. There you go. Might be a better way, might be a safer way if you're thinking that Arizona could show up. But I agree. It's weird. Baseball is just weird. And sometimes you're looking at a bet and saying, I'm betting on nothing but baseball instinct. Could be very wrong. You know what I mean? But it's one of those. But here's the problem. The second that I list it as a pick, oh, it's toast. It's toast. So I'm leaving it off. Any thoughts that you have here? I mean, look, it might be, yeah, Alan, everything you just said was dumb, and you should just bet Arizona State. That's a valid take. Yeah, go ahead.
I've been disappointed with Arizona.
Yeah.
They looked really poorly. They looked really poor again this week earlier with West Virginia.
Who's very good, by the way, but agreed. Yeah.
We were on the over in that game. West Virginia could have scored double digits real easily. They blew themselves out of a couple innings there that, could have set them up 10, 12, 13 runs. So, again, I think Arizona being at home, sitting around is not a good thing either for them. I have Arizona State in a money line parlay with, I believe it was High Point and another spot. So I do think that obviously the number's a little high, which is why we went that way instead with it. Arizona State's been getting pretty good pitching overall. They faced some really good teams too coming into this. So I think that does have an effect. Kind of bouncing that with the last game too is, Cal's been obviously getting beat up. We had UNC a couple ways last week. It's going to be difficult to find a way to take Georgia Tech this weekend, even though they'll probably handle business. Cal's been all right off the hill early in these weekend series, and then it's kind of gotten out of hand, obviously, as they've run out of arms. But at the same time, Cal's been good against these lower level teams that they're playing during the middle of the week, like, San Jose State, Santa Clara, these sort of teams. So there has been benefit. I was praying that we were going to get to bet Cal yesterday when or 2 days ago when they were playing St. Mary's. Unfortunately, it got rained out. But there's spots where even the teams that are getting beat up in their own conferences can be really beneficial when they go back and play those local teams. So there is money to be had on both sides of it. Arizona's got to figure it out here, though, looking back on that game, because it's getting late in the year. They've been underperforming all season, and we're getting closer and closer to regional time. They're going to get left out here real quick.
Yes, they are. Yeah. They have got to get on it if they want to make anything out. And look, go back to Florida the last 2 years. I'm telling you, man, Florida. Now, it hasn't been as bad, but Florida's one of those teams that's been one of the just has not started the first half well at all. And then you look up at the end of the year. Now, I'm not putting that on Arizona. I do not think that they're that good, but I did buy in. I don't know. This one just feels weird, man. Yeah, well, I'm with you, man. The over in this one might be a look. Might keep an eye on this one this weekend. UC Davis, UC Irvine. I don't have anything here. Total of 9. Irvine Irvine led by pitching. I don't know too terribly much about UC Davis. Is there anything that we need to know here, Greg? You're a West Coast guy.
I laid off of it. I lean Davis. It's not a terrible number, but problem being Irvine's been so inconsistent. We took Irvine earlier this week at plus 5.5. They looked great going in with UCLA. They ended up blowing it late. So I just have no faith in this team.
It's the run production. They just don't put enough. They just don't score enough. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
They're very much like everyone else in that conference. Davis is sort of the similar way. Cal Poly's been the same way. Santa Barbara is a key one with that too. They really win by pitching, but anybody who's putting up 5 or more runs seems to be having no problem winning these games. Plus 170 for Davis would be a lean to me. Plus 1.5 as well. Davis played well this season. They've challenged some teams. They played Texas earlier this year in a 3-game series that I liked them in, getting that experience. So would lean Davis. Don't love the spot. If I had to, I would lean the Aggies.
Yeah, good look there. Air Force, San Diego State. Look at Air Force. Aim high, boys. Minus 135. Total of 10.5. UC Santa Barbara, Cal Poly. Look at this total of 8. 8. And I don't want anything to do with the over. I don't want anything to do. Ooh, it scares me, man. Santa Barbara could really use a good weekend. That said, though, man, 8. 5-3 gets you a push. 4-4 guarantees you the over. 4-4. Well, we called it 8.5. Yeah, you were spot on, dude. You nailed that. Lynch, Vitello to Arkansas is a real possibility within 2 years. I know it was said to DVH after the College World Series. I love DVH, though. Our fan base whine too much and have crazy expectations. That's the wild part is like Arkansas, their fan base has super high expectations, and rightfully so. And I'm with Lynch right there. Dave Van Horn is the man. And Vitello to Arkansas is very real. And Greg, you're a Giants guy, so you're stuck in the middle of this. Yeah. Oh man, that would be something. But I say it as Arkansas has been so good for so long, and Dave Van Horn is such a good baseball manager that it's insane, right? Yeah. I get and respect the level of pressure that Arkansas fans are carrying around with them, and I say that out of respect. It's not easy, man. So all right, Whale taking the under, that of 8. Better Santa Barbara, Cal Poly, New Mexico, UNLV, total of 14.5. I don't have anything on this one. Hawaii, UC San Diego. You're on Hawaii? You big on Hawaii?
Yeah, we're on Hawaii, 1-unit play again tonight. I like what I've seen from them. I like the pitching staff especially. They've got a hit, obviously, but I like what they've had. They've played a lot of low-scoring games, so I do think that this is a beneficial spot for them. And then the same thing, bouncing Cal Poly. We are on Cal Poly today. Obviously, UCSB is going with their stud, and that's great. He's absolutely lights out. But the joy of this to me is Cal Poly plays the exact same style of baseball. They have no problem with playing small ball, stealing bases, working to count. And if we have a few long innings, you get into Santa Barbara's bullpen, anybody you're bringing out is going to be secondary compared to what you're getting off the starting bump here. So I do like Cal Poly. I like them at home. Slow is a weird place to be, a weird place to play. They play well there. It's one of those weird 6 o'clock games as well. It's going to be hard for everyone to see, so it's going to benefit Cal Poly's pitching as well with shadows. So I do think that's a beneficial spot at plus money.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the UC system as a whole. UC San Diego, UC Santa Barbara, UC Irvine. Dude, they're pumping out some baseball teams now.
UCLA.
Yeah, there you go.
USC. I guess they're not. They're there on the private school.
Yeah.
They do whatever they want.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, so you just nailed it right there. So that's the funny part, right? So SC being a private school, Vanderbilt is a private school, right? So Vanderbilt, right in the SEC and all of right in the middle of Nashville, it's private. The same thing as SC. So we were looking at like those, Pac-12 or even Big Ten now. You know what I mean? Like most of them are public institutions. So when you have a private school that comes into it, but they're still getting revenue share, I'm telling you, the accountants and the people at Vanderbilt have figured this out completely. So shout out to SC there. But anyways, that UC system built a lot of nice teams. All right. New Mexico, UNLV, nothing for me there. Hawaii, you're on Hawaii on that one. Last game, Santa Clara, San Diego. All right, you're a Santa Clara guy, right? What do we do here? And again, I'm not putting you on the spot to make a pick. Just Thoughts? I mean, minus 115 on both sides, total of 10. This feels like the books are saying, I don't know. You figure it out.
I agree. It's a coin flip this year with these teams. I've been disappointed. San Diego has been a team that's played well the last few years. Definitely a dip for them with talent. And Santa Clara has been just really inconsistent all over the place. I don't have faith in either of these staffs. I would lean the over. 10 to me is a very realistic number, even with a decently pitched game. So if I had to take a point in this game, it would be the over.
There we go. Whale asked. That was a good question. Shadow should help Flora more than anyone. No, talking about at Santa Barbara.
It'll help him a lot, but at the same time, it's going to negate some of that because Cal Poly's getting the same thing. They're getting benefit from their pitching staff, which makes everyone look even nastier. So I do think where you're already getting a guy on a great day, he's going to be, lights out. I think that it does benefit everybody on the Cal Poly side because it's helping their pitching staff, making each pitch even more difficult to see for a Santa Barbara offense that struggles in their own right too.
Yeah, not the,
which makes me just say which just says lean the under. It's 8.
Yeah, man, hitting out of shadows. You're right.
Difficult,
brutal. All right. Okay, so that's it. All right, we'll jump at it. We've got an hour. Greg, I did not mean to keep you. Crew, I did not mean to keep you an hour on Thursday. All right, let me get the picks back on the screen, and we'll go from there. Well, we'll get out of here. All right, what do you got, Big Dog?
We are on Charlotte money line today at the plus 150 number. We are on Hawaii today at the minus 135. And then the AB special, we are on the Duke Blue Devils at plus 105.
Blue Devils stand up. Now, Duke, I believe they're a private institution as well. We play a game when we see mascots that are religious-based or animal-based, like going up against each other. The Blue Devils present an interesting mascot opportunity, right? Same thing as like the Demon Deacons with Wake Forest. You don't have too many of those, but you've got a few of them. I'm an idiot. All right. Ole Miss, Florida, over 9.5, minus 115. Feeling some runs in this one. Georgia, Mississippi State, man. Definitely feeling some runs. And I cannot wait to watch both of these series, man, starting tonight. It's going to be great. So Ole Miss, Florida over 9.5, Georgia, Mississippi State over 10.5. Greg, it's good to see you, man. Any final thoughts before we get out of here, buddy?
Yeah, it'd be fun when we're going to, well, first of all, obviously happy early Easter to everybody in case we're not able to jump back on. And secondly, yeah, it'll be fun. We got a big weekend here. Clemson comes to town to watch, to play against Stanford. So we will be at least at one of those games, which should be fun to watch some good ACC baseball over here.
Yeah, Clemson needs it more than anybody right now. My goodness, man. That game against Wake Forest last night. Oof. Yeah, what were you going to say?
I'm excited to see what kind of numbers Clemson gets because I could see them thrashing Stanford this weekend.
Yeah. You know what? That's a good spot. That could be the bounce back spot, and nobody's going to look at it on the road. Yeah. Good look, bro. Look at you. All right, Greg.
I will also say real quick while we have it, this might be the best night of pitching staffs in KBO top to bottom I've ever seen. I usually find a spot that bounces out real quick and catches the eye. We hit our max play last night, but it's one of the best staffs. And they're all obviously international pitchers. Chris Flexen, one of our favorites, goes again back in the KBO. But there's, I think, 7 guys that have pitched pro ball that are going tonight overseas. So if you're not a KBO fan tonight, it may be an interesting one to jump in. And I do expect some unders tonight in that league.
KBO unders. Let's go. I love it.
Right. You won't last long in that one.
Such a sweat, dude. All right, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Thursday. Going to be a great, great night. Let's cash all these bets, man. We'll be live tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Telling everybody best of luck. Let's cash these tickets. We'll see you soon. Thanks.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody.